Hey, honey buns. I'm the Courtney Williams. Welcome to tonight's live. We're talking about travel and how to make it happen. So let's off with a little tune so I can introduce you guys to something new, possibly, as well as just give you guys the opportunity to actually get into the chat, like warm this thing up. So tonight we're going to be listening to New Bay by TXS. I don't know if I did this one already. Y'all let me know if I did. And it's produced by Rico Love. It's like one of my favorite songs right now. So we're going to play this. So if you're tuning in after, maybe fast forward like 3 minutes from here. I hope you guys are having a good day though. Let me get the chat rolling. There it goes. Okay, so this one is. Oh, I think I need a man now, but I don't need a hand now. You can keep your problems. Oh, I need you to understand now. I'm looking for a homie, love a friend now. But Lord knows it. Will y'all come in, y'all? Say hey. So find one in my city. And that's why I travel the world. No, he's not there. Anybody found me, they gon' know. I mean on the road. I travel the globe. I get up and go. Okay, that's the song. Y'all, I'm eating pizza tonight. Hey, boo. How are you? Welcome. I'm getting it warmed up, giving everybody a chance to get in. New girl. I don't need no issue. Gotta have a plan now. I don't give a damn now. If you call me stuck up, as long as you call me a bad motherfucker. As long as you know that any man can't touch up. As long as you know that I won't settle for no fucker. I'm doing great. How are you? To find one in my city. And that's why I travel the world. I know it's out there. Everybody found me, they gon' know. I be on the road. I travel the world. I love this song, y'all. I feel like I found this song maybe like 3 days ago. No, it's been longer than that. Maybe like a week, maybe 2. But it's been on repeat. It has literally been on repeat, y'all. Welcome. We're letting the chat get warmed up before we get started. Less than a minute. I'm gonna jump on in. I love this song. I did not get a cup for water. Ready to just leave the U.S. and go abroad. Where you at in the U.S.? Okay, guys, let's jump on in. That was the end of our song. Where are you at in the U.S.? What state are you in? And have you been abroad already? Or this will be like your first time when you make it out? Girl, y'all. So everybody's kind of like trying to, get abroad, travel more, travel longer, or figure out what their style of travel is. For me, I like traveling long term. I like not kind of like, coming back to the States that often. Yes, come on for Jersey. I have a friend who I met on like this random group trip to Jamaica. I actually posted a few pictures on my Facebook and in the community if you guys have been checking it out. But my first trip abroad was to Jamaica with these girls who, one of them was from Jersey, one was from New York, and one was from Texas. And we didn't even know each other. Some guy, not some guy, but the organizer of the trip, put us all together, linked us all up in a room, and it was just an amazing moment. Like, we're still in touch now. We're actually planning another girls trip for 2020, which I think is gonna be lit. And we've linked up a few times, like maybe 2, 3 times. And when I was just home, I stopped in Jersey. But you know what? The crazy thing, I'm from Texas, and I was expecting Jersey to be similar to, like, the Jersey Shore show. And when I got there, it seemed very country. Like, the part that she was in it was nothing around it. It reminded me of like a little school town, like, literally just the grocery store and maybe a few apartments. And that was really only one apartment complex. But my family does not want me to go alone, but I do because my friends don't have money. Well, I mean, I didn't tell my family before I went. Well, I did tell them, but I told them after the flights were booked because I felt like something similar would happen to me, where they wouldn't want me to go, or they would be super nervous I don't want to say for no reason, because sometimes it's warranted, but at the same time, it's like, people kind of projecting onto you like their own fears and their own worries, where it's really not as bad as they often think. Technically, I can only speak for like Southeast Asia and Colombia because that's where I've been to. I've been to Jamaica, some parts of the Caribbean as well, but I did like group trips. I can't really tell you about the solo journey there, but I feel like, girl, don't be waiting on your friends to live your best life. At the end of the day, you came in this world by yourself. God gave you common sense, so you'll be all right. I mean, your family probably will be worried. I feel like most people, their family are very worried about them, especially when they're traveling long term. But you got to take a hold of your life and start taking the steps that you want to take. Do things that you love and the things that inspire you. And if that's travel, you got to make it happen. I think that was similar for me as well. Like, my friends didn't really have the money as well. And then you know how it is. Sometimes people are like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go. And then as the planning process continues, eventually they fall off. And by the end of the trip, it's like only like either just you or maybe one other person, which defeats the purpose of like, planning a trip with your friends. So for me, I think if you're traveling full time, you definitely, most of the time, you're probably going to be going solo, but you shouldn't be nervous about it because you're not really alone. You were probably in North Jersey. I think so. I think I was in North Jersey. I think I was because I actually took the train from New York. I had a ticket from New York to Philly. Now, New York to Philly? Yeah, I had a ticket from New York to Philly, I want to say. But I didn't go all the way to Philly. I ended up just stopping at the connector in New Jersey because I realized my friend lived there, and I'm like, oh, girl, let me make a stop. I ain't seen you in a minute. Let's catch up. And I just stayed for like a week. So it was dope. I mean, like, I had a great time, but it was really because of my friend, because it really wasn't anything to do there. Like, it was nothing around there. Like, it was smaller than my college town in Huntsville, Texas. So yeah. Now, in terms of full-time travel, you definitely gotta like just be open, especially if you're traveling solo. Is Southeast Asia dead as fuck? No, I don't think so. Like, I feel like Southeast Asia has a lot to do. It depends on what country you're going to. Like, Vietnam sometimes can get a little bit boring if you stay there long term, but like the rest of Southeast Asia be lit, y'all. Southeast Asia be lit. Okay? Like, they have like a nice mixture of some things, plus pricing there is really cheap. So it's just, it's a fun time. Like, it's a good little moment. But like I was saying, you have to be open, like, don't be scared to travel full time by yourself, because once you actually get out of the country, you're going to quickly realize you are not alone. You're not the only risk taker who wants to, explore this world and take advantage of being from countries who have the privilege to, go to different places, because you'll realize also some people have passports that really restrict them. So I think for me, I always think like, oh, how lucky are we? And we should definitely utilize our passports a lot more. So once you get there, once you actually start traveling, like I always say you should stay in a hostel at least for your first couple of days. Like you can always find you an apartment or book you an Airbnb later, but especially if you're traveling solo, you should definitely stay in a hostel for a little bit. And don't be nervous, because it's like hostels aren't as bad as you think, especially in Southeast Asia. Like hostels are on a whole nother level in Southeast Asia. Like you can find in a really amazing hostel, like the works, a private room, even possibly for like $20 and under. If you're willing to share, you can get it even cheaper than that. Like anywhere from $5 to $6. It depends on what area you're in, but things are super cheap, and hostels are very well developed there because they have so many. So it's like a lot of competition. So it's always a new hostel popping up with really dope amenities. So definitely stay in a hostel. It gives you an opportunity to meet other people, especially if you're solo and you're trying to figure out like, how am I gonna, meet people? Am I gonna be solo the whole time or what? Let's Talk 101 says, but my issue is I finished my associate's degree, and then after that, people are saying I should keep going and get my bachelor's degree, but I want to take a break and go teach abroad for 2 years. Have you ever thought about teaching? I mean, not teaching, but have you ever thought about getting your bachelor's degree online? Maybe, I don't know what your associate's degree is in. Finishing my associate's degree is what I meant to say. I got you, girl. Don't even worry. I don't know what your associate's degree is in, but maybe an option for you would be to see what program your school has for like online capabilities, and maybe you could still take a year off, like maybe you travel for 1 full year and not do any schoolwork, and then maybe the second year you continue to travel but you take your classes online, and that would be like a way better setup. Like as for me right now, I'm taking my master's online. My master's degree is in mass communication. All my classes are online for this particular program. But then there's also other programs that may be kind of like a hybrid, where some of the classes are online and some of them aren't. So you got to just probably call your school, or maybe set up a meeting with like your counselor, your academic counselor on campus, and see what your options are. I know some people also are doing study abroad. I don't know. I have a love-hate thing with study abroad, because I feel like on one end of the scale, it's a good opportunity, but at the same time, it's really expensive. But also sometimes they have really great, scholarships for study abroad programs, loans, and all kind of other options to kind of bring the price down. But I remember recently I saw a study abroad program to Southeast Asia, and I was just thinking that the rates for what they were charging was really outrageous for Southeast Asia. But like maybe if it was Africa or Dubai or somewhere else, but I think a lot of times people go to Southeast Asia thinking it's going to be all of this money, and it's so freaking cheap. Black, he said, how is dating out there? I get this question so much when I tell you dating is kind of trash. I mean, it depends. It depends on what you're looking for. Like if you're a male, especially black males, they don't have any problem. I feel like they, I feel like the women definitely outnumber the expat men sometimes. And then I think too, sometimes with dating abroad or dating specifically in Southeast Asia, you have to realize a lot of times men are traveling there specifically for Asian women, which is cool, but it's like, it just kind of makes the dating pool kind of small, depending on what you're into. Like if you're into dating in different races, like maybe you wouldn't have too many problems, because it's very diverse. I wouldn't say very diverse. I say it's diverse enough where it's a lot of different people from like Italy, Australia, South Africa, different parts of Africa, all over the place basically. So it's, it's possible today. I feel like, but you also got to be aware that like so many people are moving around so fast and traveling that like a lot of times people just are looking for flings, and this is really just goes back to what are you looking for and what you want and expressing that when you meet people. But I say it was cool enough that I have a lot of interesting dating stories. Like, I had my moments, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, this is okay. But I think the best place that I felt like for dating was Kuala Lumpur. That was my favorite place. Not just for dating, but like it's definitely up there on the dating scene because it's a lot more Black men there. And I don't know, I personally have a preference for chocolate guys. And yeah, it's a lot more, it's just a lot more dating options. So it makes it a lot more possible to kind of find what you're looking for, and people are a little bit more stable there, like they've been living there for long periods of time if they're not from there. How much money would I have to save to travel Southeast Asia for 3 months in advance? So when I got to Southeast Asia, I landed in Southeast Asia with $200. Okay, $200, and by the grace of God, I was able to stay in Southeast Asia for 3 years. Okay, like I was flipping and making things happen. So I think when you're thinking about the money that you need to take or save in advance, you need to be thinking about like what expenses do you have at home and can you completely clear them out? Like for me, I had nothing that I had to pay when I left. Like I sold everything. I didn't have a car note. I didn't have a phone bill. I literally got rid of everything. So for you, it seems like you're going to be staying a little bit shorter. So maybe if you have a phone bill, see if they can pause your plan so you don't have to pay for that. Hopefully you don't have a car that you're paying for like monthly. Hopefully you have a cash car. But then when it comes to money, it depends on like, are you a big drinker? Are you a big partier? How luxurious do you want to live? Like I think Southeast Asia has a good balance, where you can live literally on either end of the spectrum. Like if you want to live really cheaply or if you want to live really expensively, because they just, they have so many options. But I would say generally for me, I don't really drink that much. I'm more of a smoker than anything else. So the most of my money when I was in Southeast Asia was going on my rent, because rent normally is about 300. I would say to find a nice apartment, like if you want to stay by yourself and you don't want to live in a house with other people and you want like, a cute little studio, very modern, I would say anywhere from $350 up to maybe $450, and that's on the higher end. So once you kind of figure out like what you're going to be paying for rent, what you're going to be paying, like if you're buying weed or if you buying your food and like tours, because I did a lot of traveling from other places. So for me, if I didn't travel outside of the country that I was in, and let's say I just stayed in Bangkok or I just stayed in Vietnam, I could get away with about $1,000 a month, like $1,000 for the full month, and that was living really comfortably, like cooking in a little bit, because Vietnam, Asia didn't really have a lot of kitchens. So I wasn't able to really do like a full meal. But let's say I wanted to do some little stuff that I can microwave or some stuff that I could just like boil with some water, things like that. And then I would probably eat out for like lunch. Sometimes maybe I'd eat out like once, sometimes twice a day, but most of the time I was like eating little things or snacking on the street and stuff like that, because they have a lot of street food in Southeast Asia. So I would say if you're trying to kind of stay on a budget, minimum about 1,000. Like you could do it for cheaper, but the only thing, if you're doing it for cheaper, like let's say you kind of broke. I don't know your life, okay? But let's say you kind of broke. You can definitely do Asia for cheaper. So if you're trying to do it comfortably, minimum you need at least $1,000 for each month. But let's say you try to just get out the city and figure it out, and get to a new country and explore. If you're able to get rid of your accommodation bill which I did for my first full year. Because like I said, I first landed in Thailand with $200, okay? So my first full year of traveling, I didn't pay for any accommodations. I couch surfed the entire time. And couch surfing is a really cool option for anybody who doesn't know. It's basically where you stay with people for free. And it's kind of like a pay it forward type of system where people are able to connect with other travelers and kind of, create a network. So later on, when they want to travel, if they need accommodations somewhere, they can, send out little alerts and things and find somewhere to stay without having to pay, like it's kind of like, you never know when you might need somewhere to stay. So I've been on both ends. Like I've been a host and I've been a hostee. So there are also opportunities like, what is this other one? House sitting, which I didn't personally do house sitting, but I know I have two other friends, the vegans, and they have been doing house sitting here in South America, and they seem to really love it. So that's an option to get rid of your accommodations, as well as doing work away. So work away is basically you work for a little bit of time, let's say maybe like 4 hours a day in exchange for somewhere to stay and possibly a few meals. It depends on where the people, so you can definitely do Asia cheaper than $1,000. Like you could probably even get away with like maybe $500 a month, but that's like a really tight budget. And that's like, you got to be really flexible, like really willing to be a little bit uncomfortable sometimes, because especially with couch surfing, like you have comforts, but at the same time you're staying in someone else's house for free. So, you said it's cheap. How much money would I have to save? You said it's cheap. Yeah, it's really cheap. Like in comparison to America, like I don't think where you gonna be at, like I don't know where anybody can live in America for like $1,000, like comfortably, Like I'm talking about you still gonna be able to kind of like have a social life and explore this place, Hey, mister, I was looking for you yesterday. Hey, I hope you're good. How many people are out there running their own businesses? A lot. A lot of people are running their own businesses. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but it's a good amount. Like I think a lot of the expats are either teaching English in some type of way, are they freelancing, or they do have their own businesses, or doing some type of drop shipping, or some type of business within travel, but it's a good amount. Hey, Alice, how are you? I haven't seen you in a minute. How much did you save from teaching abroad? I was thinking about getting my TEFL certificate so I can feel secure when I go over there, because I see that you can get your certificate in Ho Chi Minh. You can get your certificate. Are you talking about the Ninja Teacher program in Ho Chi Minh City? You can get your teaching certificate there. I actually got my certificate online. I did a Groupon. And you are definitely right. I would definitely recommend, like, if you're going to Southeast Asia, it's always a good idea to have a TEFL if you already have a degree so you can work, because, I mean, it's always good little money. Like, if you ever find yourself in Vietnam, it's little jobs you can work. It's always something to fall back on. Like, you definitely want to have a plan B. So, I'm good, mister. I'm just, I don't know. I've been working today. Like I was getting my shit together, but I'm good. I'm doing a lot better today. But I would definitely recommend get your TEFL. That's an opportunity for you to make some money. And I'm eating pizza. Don't necessarily pay a lot for it. It seems like you might be on a budget. I'm just kind of, taking that from what you're seeing. So be very aware that TEFL programs can really get expensive depending on what school you go to. But I do have to also say that a few of my friends have gone to Ninja Teacher in Ho Chi Minh City and they loved it. So It's nothing wrong with either one. You just have to do what you feel like is best. I always say if you are kind of comfortable a little bit with teaching, or you've kind of been in any type of teaching or babysitting type elements before, then you could do it online, because to me, I feel like teaching really wasn't that hard, because a lot of times they give you everything that you need. Like, they literally, everything that you're going to need to teach this class, you can teach it, or you going to either kind of wing it. Either way, it's a really simple process. And I just feel like it just really boils down to how comfortable you are in front of the classroom. You know, like if you're not really comfortable in front of the classroom, you've never had any type of teaching elements before, then yeah, you might want to do it in class, because they have a lot of in-class work associated with the program to actually test it out and things like that. I heard that the $1,500 in-class TEFL is the safe one to get. Some people say it's the safe one, but honestly, I'd say it's only the safe one to get if you're going to a place like Korea, or if you're going to a place like China, or if you're trying to go to like Dubai, and let's say you have absolutely no teaching experience, you know. But if you get like an online TEFL, now granted, if you're getting an online TEFL, you want to get one that has a minimum hour credit of 120 hours or more. I want to say mine was like 150 hours, because I was like, let me just do a little extra, and I didn't pay much for it. I paid like $30. I did it online, and I did it within like a week, and I got my certificate in the mail, and I taught, you know. So I started teaching with like summer camps. Like, I didn't have any problems having a TEFL online, and I just kind of build up my, you know, my teaching experience, because I really think that's what it boils down to, having some type of teaching experience. So if you're starting in Vietnam, or if you're starting in Thailand, a TEFL online is perfectly fine. I worked in both of those places. Thailand, I started there. I had no teaching experience, but I had a TEFL. And it wasn't a problem. So I wouldn't always recommend paying $1,500 for an in-class. Like, of course, people gonna say that's safe because they want that money. People be saying that because they want that money, okay? Don't get got, y'all. Use your common sense. What was the name of the TEFL you took on Groupon? I want to say it was called Global TEFL. I want to say it was called Global TEFL. Let me try. I don't know if I'm able to look it up that quick. Hold up, let's see. Global. Let me go to my Yahoo. Where you at, Yahoo? It's something global TEFL, but it was 150 hours. And hold up, I think I pulled it. Did I pull it? Did I pull it? No, that ain't it. In the class website was called International Academy. Oh, this was the in-class one in Ho Chi Minh. Oh, I don't know that one. But if you're paying a lot of money for an in-class, you definitely want to do some research. You know, you want to find other people who have taken it to see if, you know, the program is actually good and what you can expect. The best way I would say to do this, if you're not in whatever country you're trying to go to, is to go on Facebook and look for just expat groups. Like, you can say teachers in Ho Chi Minh City, expats in Bangkok, something along that line, and just, you know, get acquainted with the group, put a little message in there and say, hey, I heard about this school in Ho Chi Minh and I'm interested in going. I'm curious if anyone in this group has been to this school, so I can get a little bit of more information before I pay. And then that's the way, you know, you can get some better like deets and really get down to the nitty gritty of like, are they legitimate or not? Like, is it worth the money or not? Because nobody want to be wasting they good coin. No. While I was in Southeast Asia, I would say 90% of everyone I met either taught online or taught in class. Yeah, a lot of people teach English, a lot of people, because it's such a big market. It's such a big market and such a big need for teachers. And I think a lot of times, like me, I wasn't prepared to teach English. Like, I had no plans of teaching English when I got there, but it just kind of fell in my lap. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to roll with it. And that's how I ended up getting my TEFL online, because when my first teaching job, I didn't even have a TEFL. So it's places as well. It depends on where you're going. It depends, like if you go somewhere in a little bit of a smaller town, sometimes the schools are a little bit more desperate. So they might not even care about none of your paperwork. So it depends, but I would say, like, be prepared. So at the very least, get you a TEFL online. If you can't afford the in-class, because the in-class is expensive, or if you want to save your money and use that on a little trip to the island somewhere, because the islands are so cheap. Like from KL to Langkawi, which is a really cute island in Malaysia, is a $20 flight. Actually, you can get that thing for $11 if you book it like a month in advance. Like, it's really cheap to get around. I didn't go there to be a teacher, but it's been in the back of my mind. I mean, it's a good opportunity. Do you guys know, what's this other travel girl named? Onika the Traveler. She's really popular. She's been doing a lot of TV shows and things like that in the travel industry recently. Well, I'm not going to say recently, for the longest. She's been really on. And she actually taught English. And I want to say she has an article about like how to save 100,000. Was it 100,000? I don't remember, but how to save a lot of money. She had an article about it because she taught for a while to kind of help her boost her channel and boost her brand. So that is an option. It is an option. I mean, it's a good option. Depending on what city you go to as well, they do pay well. The in-class website, do you have to have a degree to teach in Dubai? I think you do, but I can't say for sure because I didn't teach in Dubai. I have one friend that's teaching there. Actually, I wouldn't really call her a friend. I'd say she's more of an associate, but we went to college together and we kind of sometimes stay in touch. But I haven't talked to her in like a year, but sometimes we go a little while without talking. But I think she's loving it. The only thing that she did tell me about teaching in Dubai is, like, of course, you're going to a place where they have a lot more restrictions for women, as well as it's just sometimes women aren't really respected in the same way. And you also have to be prepared to sign a really long contract. Like in Southeast Asia, like let's say you're going to Thailand or Vietnam or Cambodia and you're teaching there, it's a lot easier to get into a contract and to get out of the contract if you're not happy or if you don't want to stay, or even to get a short-term contract. But I feel like in places like Dubai, like it's a little bit more structured, and the teaching contracts are longer. Like I feel like she told me she signed a contract for 3 or 4 years. Like it was a lofty contract. So it depends on what your goals are and how long you really want to stay. For me, that wasn't my ministry, so I wasn't gonna be able to do it. But I think Dubai would be dope. That I looked up. I feel like somebody also asked me about how much money I was able to save when I was teaching, and I don't know if I answered it. I don't know, but I don't have an exact number, but I definitely didn't hit my goal. Like I feel like when I was in Thailand, I wasn't able to save any money because Thailand does not pay well. Like Thailand, your pay normally is about $1,000 a month. And that's about how much you need to live comfortably. So you literally are breaking even unless you start trying to do some other things on the side, like teaching English online, which is what one of my friends did. Or if you do like some private English teaching lessons, which are really easy to get. Or even if let's say you're not an English speaker, or let's say you know some other languages like Spanish, French, any kind of language, or you're, some type of polyglot, which for anybody who don't know, a polyglot is a person who knows several languages. So you can always make money. You can put up flyer. It's like you got to get to Asia with the mindset of like a little hustler. Like it's really laid back, but at the same time, it's like so many opportunities and possibilities. You just got to put yourself out there, promote yourself, and get your money. Get your coin. Get your coin. And then when I was in Vietnam, Vietnam was tricky for me. I feel like I could have saved way more if I had a better teaching structure. But I started a job, I got fired from that job, and it was like I was at a place where this was my first time kind of having stable income. So I was just kind of like really getting comfortable, like, buying things that I needed that I hadn't bought, taking care of myself, going on a few trips. And I was starting to save like right before I got fired. So I didn't have that much savings when I left Ho Chi Minh City. Not Ho Chi Minh City. When I left Hanoi, I want to say I worked with this company for 4, maybe 5 months. And when I left them, I think I had 2,000 saved. And when I got to Ho Chi Minh City, I hopped around a lot before I actually found a school that I liked. And then I ended up settling, well, that was a little bit settling because it wasn't the grade level that I wanted to teach. I prefer to teach kindergarten. That's where my passion lies. Like, if I got to teach, I like teaching babies, but I did kind of settle because I was like, I need to get a job, I need to get this money, and I need to get the fuck up out of here because my time is up. My time is up. And by the end of it, I didn't work at VUS that long. I want to say I probably worked at VUS for about maybe 6 months. Maybe I worked at VUS for about 6 months. And I want to say I saved a good 3,000 before I left. Like, I went to Texas with a nice saving, with a nice little coin. It's possible to save. I think in order to save a lot of money in Southeast Asia, you got to go to a country that pays well, and you got to go there with like just focus on how much you're gonna save. Be clear about your budget. Don't spend all your money on liquor and going out because it can, waste your money really quickly if you're doing it very heavily. And, just be diligent with how you're putting your money away. Like, whether you got to have a system that automatically pulls it out or whatever it is to really help you put that money away. But it's possible. You can definitely make a lot of money. And you got to kind of be consistent with the school where you can stay a little bit longer. Y'all, welcome for all the new people. If you have not thumbs up this video, and you can also hit the super chat if you want to support the channel. Thank you in advance, but don't feel no pressure, okay? Let's move on. I'm trying not to miss nobody's questions. Hey, Crazy Bubba, what's up? How are you? Hey, Fave 3. Hey, Al. Al Mill says, hey, favorite thing to do in Medellin so far? I really don't have a favorite thing yet, guys. Like, I've been really taking my time. I'm such a slow traveler. Like, when I tell y'all, I'm a slow ass traveler. And it's been really interesting because when I went to Southeast Asia, I had a lot more time. Like, I went there thinking I was going to stay for a year, and I ended up staying 3 years. Now I'm here, and I only have 6 months here. Like, I don't have as much time because I have some other things that I'm doing in other places later this year. But I'm just a really slow traveler. And with this being the beginning of the year, I came here kind of knowing that I was going to need a moment to kind of like unload my brain and plan out and map out my journey for how I'm going to be going to different places here. So my first couple of months here have been really chill, y'all. Like, I can't say anything is like my favorite. Well, maybe the empanadas. The empanadas are really, really, really delicious. But that's about it. Like, I feel like, oh, and probably the scene here is really beautiful, but I haven't really seen that much yet. Like, literally, I just did my first like day trip out the city, but I now only have like 3 weeks left in Medellin, and I got a whole moment of shit that I'm going to do and experience before I leave here. So ask me this question next month, and I'll have a better answer for you, because by then I will be leaving Medellin. I haven't decided yet if I'm coming back to Medellin, because at first this is gonna be my base for the full 6 months, and I was just gonna hop out and then come back in. But now I've been hearing about Salvador in Brazil, and apparently this is like a poppin' city. Apparently a lot of Black people are on this coast, and it's not like a poor place, like it's like very abundant and just a lot of things to do, and it looks amazing. And Medellin is a cool place, but it does seem very like slow a little bit. Like it doesn't feel like it has as much flavor as I was expecting from Latin America or from a Latin American culture. So I'm definitely kind of like, this has been fun. I got my shit done. Like when I tell y'all, it's really amazing for me to see how everything has been coming together, because on some days I have been a little bit lazy. You know, my energy has been fluctuating, and I've just been like really doing a lot of self-care, a lot of meditating. Also, guys, I forgot to tell you, the sign up form is available. It's in the description box. So everybody who caught my message in the community and said that they were interested in the 3-day self-care challenge is completely free. All you have to do is sign up with your email, and you'll be entered, and you'll receive the challenge details. And it's actually starting tomorrow, so you guys can sign up that way. And I also want to say, before I forget, if Guinness Guy, if you see this video after, make sure you check your email. I actually sent you something, so, and it shows me that you have not seen it yet. So make sure you check it so I can make sure that you received it. And I forgot what my other train of thought was, so let's let's move forward. And if you go to one of the small towns, you're gonna be the only Black person in the whole town. Hello, this is so true. Like when I went to Ubon Ratchathani, it was only it was 3 Black people in this whole town. This is a small town in Thailand. 3 Black people in the whole damn town. So you got to be prepared for just being in a place where you don't see anybody who looks like you. It's very much so overwhelming sometimes, because people are in your face, people are taking pictures of you, people might be touching you, people might be just not even respecting your personal space. But you got to be prepared for possible encounters like that. Onika the Traveler, I love her channel. I know, me too. She is so dope, and she really been making moves. She actually was on TV today. I feel like I saw a post about her doing a show, like doing a news channel or something in her city. Onika the Traveler has a lot of good info on her channel too. She does, and she also was a teacher, and she saved a lot of money, and she flipped that coin. So definitely check out her channel. I learned a lot as well in the beginning of my channel from her. So, or in the beginning of my journey from her. So definitely check her out. I think she's been doing it for 7 years, where she leveled up from teaching into owning her own business. This is true. This is how she did it. A lot of people, I feel like in the beginning, did it that way. They started teaching, they made their money, and they just kind of built their bread on the side. It was another guy, I think his was called, I'll be having the hardest time remembering things sometimes, but I'm remembering names. I can't remember this guy's name, but it was this guy who was teaching in South Korea, and he had like a party blog. So all the parties, all the events type of thing. And I ended up running into him in Vietnam. So yeah, it's possible. It's different ways to flip it. 3 or 4 years, goddamn. Most I ever seen was 1 year. Different country, different rules. Yeah, 3 or 4 years. Wait, I'm confused. Are you talking about? Wait, I forgot what that is for. So let me go on. Yeah, in Southeast Asia, everyone is a hustler. Everyone finds a way to get that dough. Shit, I got paid just to chat with the German woman in English so she could practice her English. Yeah, it's literally as simple as putting up posts, putting up flyers. You quickly realize it's like, I say this so much because I feel like this is so true. Like, it's like the Wild Wild West. It's like, America before everything got regulated, because I feel like with regulations, it comes like, more middlemen. Whereas in Southeast Asia, all that shit gets cut out, and you could just figure it out. Like whether you gotta, meet with the bar owner and say, hey, I can do this for you, or this is my skill, or like, it's really about promoting yourself. It teaches you so much though. It really teaches you how to put yourself out there. Hey KT, hey girl. she had posted it in one of the travel groups asking for that, and I responded. That's another benefit of joining these Facebook groups. Yeah, you definitely want to get connected, you know, like the travel community, I feel like it's not that big. Like the amount of people who actually travel long term is not that big in comparison to like other people. So definitely get connected, but also be aware, you know, be aware, but don't be scared to like get into these groups, even if you're not in these countries yet, and ask questions, you know, get connected to different people and go from there. But you stuck at the terminal in Rochelle, Illinois. Too much snow. Oh, I heard it was cold in America. Hopefully it's gonna warm up soon because I just can't even with this weather, with that weather there. What's the chances of finding a teaching job being Black without a degree, but you have your TEFL? This again depends. Now, if you go to Thailand, Thailand was a place I worked first without a degree. I worked in two places. I had a camp, and then I started at a international school in a small town. So if you don't have a degree, you got to be willing to go to a small town. They're really rural, okay? They're really rural, and you will definitely probably be the only Black person there. This is not saying that you're gonna have a bad experience, because for me, I had the most amazing time in Ubon. It was just a good mix of people there, so I wasn't bored. But you can find it, but just be prepared. Like, you definitely want to take money with you before you go. Like, you want to set yourself up, because it might take you a while to find a job that will hire you without a degree. And it also just, you got to be flexible, because it's not going to be as quick for you. You know, like all of my friends who don't have degrees, they have jobs. It just kind of took them longer than usual. Sometimes it took them 2 months. You know, sometimes they were able to get in quicker than that, depending on who they knew. But most of the time, all of them were pretty much far outside of the city. My friend who worked in Ho Chi Minh City without a degree, she worked about 40 minutes away from the city. All of my friends in Hanoi who don't have a degree, or who are from countries who are not English speaking. Like, sometimes people coming from Africa, they speak good English, but it's still, I don't know what it is sometimes about, I don't know what it is about Asia. They have these things about coming from an English speaking country, but if you're not, other schools will hire you. It just depends on, like, you know, how desperate they are and what their needs are. So it's possible. It's not impossible. You can definitely get a job without a degree and being Black, but just be prepared to support yourself if it takes longer than usual, and be prepared to have to go to possibly a small city to find work. Salvador is popping. Chocolate City. So I just feel so lit. Like, I kind of feel like this pull to go there. I kind of feel this pull to go there. I'm like, ooh, because I'm like, honestly, I just kind of feel like Colombia, I don't know. It don't feel like it, you know? It's like nothing wrong with it. Like, I don't feel bad about being here, because I can say I've been feeling hella creative. When I tell y'all, I've been getting so much shit done. And even today, I was able to finally plan out my bojo. So I hadn't really worked on my bojo yet, because I was still planning out some stuff, but I don't know if y'all can see this. I finally got some of the things for my bojo finished for the first, I don't know, but it's been dope, and it's working itself out. This is what was meant to happen at this time. So I'm very grateful, but I'm very excited for my first journey out. And that's happening in 3 weeks. Well, that's gonna be like outside of Colombia, but I'm still figuring that out. So yes, to get into Chocolate City. Do you have any suggestions on solo travel groups? No, I don't. I'm only saying no because the only one that I would have recommended was by this guy. His name is Lewis Williams, but I don't think he still has his other page. He used to run this YouTube channel called I Hustle Nation, and used to plan a bunch of trips from Houston to all over the world. But I don't think he does it anymore. And he was really perfect because he just had a knack for connecting the right personality, especially if you needed roommates, you know, things like that. I would say you probably should still follow him. He actually runs this new page, which y'all probably all know is Travel is the New Club. He runs that page. So maybe follow that, because I feel like before I left America, he had threw a New Year's Eve party. Like not every year, but like let's say every couple of years, he normally throw a New Year's Eve party where it's literally all you can drink Hennessy, all you could like all the top liquor, and everybody be messed up. But I couldn't make it because I left before then. But he still does things from time to time, but I haven't done any other group trips with any other companies to recommend them. But there is one that looks good that I've been thinking about maybe possibly doing a trip with, and I think it's called the Black Travel. What is it? I don't remember the name of nothing. I don't know what is really going on with my spirit today. I don't remember the name. Let me see if I can go to Instagram real quick. Girl, and first thing popped up on my thing is Beyonce with her fine self. And Kelly right after that. Black Travel. They actually just did a trip to, I don't know, y'all. I can't remember the name. This was a new one, but I literally just seen them everywhere, and it looks really legit. Just the way that she has it set up, and just the way you can tell when something is legit, versus somebody just throwing some shit together. But she's based in Bali, I think, or somewhere in Southeast Asia, and she's doing Bali this year, as well as, I'm gonna have to find this for y'all. Hold up a second. I think it might be in my Yahoo. It might be in my Yahoo. I want to say they party looked lit. I was looking at pictures after the fact, and they were in Bali, like all these black people. And I was like, girl, let me find out. Black Travel Fest. That's what it's called. Black Travel Fest. So Black Travel Fest is run by this black girl. I want to say she's in Chiang Mai. So if you're looking for a solo travel group, that might be a good one. Actually, I think they have all different type of options where you can do solo, or you can go with your friends, or like it's options. But check out their website, Black Travel Fest. This is one that I would say. I haven't been on any trips with them, so go at your own risk. Don't be talking about Courtney told me about this and this shit was trash. Like, go at your own risk. It seems like it's legit. I would book a trip with them, but I have not as of yet. Nothing is working in my timeline, because she has some trips coming up this year that I was like, oh, I would like to go there, but the timeline doesn't work for me. So if you guys go before me with the Black Travel Fest, post and let me know what's popping. Ubon Ratchatani, I passed through it and ate at a shop. It was weird. Yeah, Ubon is really small. Like, you really got to know people there. But if you ever go to Ubon again, you have to go to this place called the Outside Inn. It's a bed and breakfast, and it's a restaurant. So it has Thai food, but it also has like Mexican food, like legit Mexican food. Like, it's a whole blessing. Okay? It's a whole blessing. The Outside Inn. They have like a bed and breakfast, so you can actually stay on property if you want. And then they have, their restaurant, and it's delicious. I was talking about the teaching contract lengths, 3 to 4 years, crazy, but different countries, different rules. This is true, yeah. Because I was confused. I was like, what? I don't remember what we were talking about that way. These comments, I think, are coming in a little bit later. Plus, I got a lot to say, I guess, about certain stuff that y'all are mentioning. But yeah, 3 to 4 years was really crazy to me. I feel like if I had planned prior and I knew that I wanted to teach, like maybe at the beginning of a new journey, like at the beginning of my journey, maybe I would have been willing to do something like that. But at this point, it's like, that's not the direction that I'm going, and I don't want to waste any time doing anything that I don't like, Plus, I'm not really one for rules, and Dubai seems a little bit strict to me. I haven't been there yet, but what I've been hearing seems a little bit strict in terms of teaching, and I ain't with it. I like to run my own things the way that I like to do it. Yeah, people stack money in Southeast Asia because of the low cost of living. If you make minimum wage full time in the US, that amount of money in Thailand, Vietnam will have you living very comfortably. Yeah, like you can definitely live very comfortable. And I think also, particularly in Vietnam, you can really stack if you really hustling, because the way that the schools are set up, they have public schools that happen during the day, like the normal hours of like 8 a.m. or 7 a.m. to like 3 or 4, or even private schools, public schools, private and public schools. But then they also have English centers, and English centers only start teaching at like 5. So from like 5 to maybe 8, Monday through Friday. So you can literally, if you really try to make that money, you really about that life, you can literally go there, pick you up a private school or a public school during the day. I would say the private school, because they pay better, they have better hours, better benefits. The public school be playing games, and they be playing games with the money. So try to do a private school if you're about that life, and then get you a little, center job for the evenings, and you don't even have to work full time. Like, you could work full time, but full time is only 18 hours there, y'all. So full time is not the same. You're actually only teaching for 18 teaching hours. So if you're at a private school, you'll have the 40 hours that you will be on campus, but you'll only be teaching in a class for 18 of those hours. Whereas centers, because it's at night, they have no in office teacher work time. So you literally are just doing your 18 hours and you rolling out. So it's definitely possible to get your money and stack it, which, like I said, you got to go with a plan. You got to stay focused and don't waste your money on BS, Yeah, people stack money. Pay y'all. Hey, Dara, I'm doing really good. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick. I'm glad you caught the live too. Courtney, don't read. Oh, okay. Okay. This is true as well. This is true as well. This is true. I'm just going to say this is true as well. So y'all have to roll through the comments to catch that. Join different travel groups, and they usually lead to other travel groups. Full-time travelers share lots of useful info in those groups. This is true. This is true. Black Travel Movement. I feel like I've heard of them as well. No. I feel like I've heard of the Black Travel Movement, but I'm not really that familiar with it. But no, it's not the same. It was definitely the Black Travel Fest. Thank you for the answer. I'm saving up now with plans on leaving in July. I'm excited and a little nervous, but ready. Been planning for a year now. Yes. Don't be worried though. I feel like everybody who tells me that they're leaving, like even for me, I was so nervous. Like when I landed in Thailand, I was freaking the fuck out. Okay. Like, granted, I left America with like, I want to say maybe I had like $2,000 when I left America, but I caught myself doing a little trip through America before I made it to Southeast Asia. And for some reason, my spirit told me that New York for 19 days was going to be the business. And I got there and I was like, bitch, why is my money going so fast? Like, what is really going on? I spend so much money. Every time I go to New York, I spend so much money there. It just be going. I'll be like, wait. So yeah, I got to Southeast Asia and I was like, God, what the fuck I do? what I do now? And I was so like, I remember like the couchsurf host that I set up canceled on me. So I got to the airport and realized I didn't have nowhere to stay. And then I ended up finding another host. But let's just say, long story short, I had to have a whole prayer session with one of my really good friends. I actually need to call him and see what's up with him. But I have this friend that I've been knowing since I was like 18. He's like kind of old, but super dope human. And we talked when I first, like that first week I got to Thailand, because I definitely was like, I've made a mistake and I don't know how to fix this. I don't even got enough money to buy my flight home. Like, it was just a whole moment. And I was really second guessing myself. I was hella nervous. It felt like such a shock because it looked so foreign to me. Like, it looked so different. Nothing was in English, everything was in these foreign signs. So I don't know. I had this call with him. We said a little prayer and I moved forward and it was great. So don't worry. Everybody's nervous. You don't know what to expect. You're going to a whole new place and you're going by yourself. So it's only normal, but just keep moving forward past that fear, you know? I just love you. Always make me smile. Oh, I love you guys too. Thank you so much, everybody who is here with me. And if you guys have not already, definitely thumbs up this video. Did you say Payo? That's what my ex used to work. I don't think I said Payo. I don't think I said. I mean, like private schools, public schools. I don't know a place called Payo. Where is Payo? In Thailand? Or where is that? I wanted to ask, if I wanted to teach for a short term, like teach in the summer only, can I do that? And if so, where? Just curious. Yes, but you can't tell them that you're going to teach for that long, you know? And I would say if you want to do it and not feel bad about it, like you're breaking your contract, you would probably want to do it at a center because the centers have a lot bigger turnover. Like, you could also do this at a private school because people break their contracts all the time in Southeast Asia. People get fired or people quit or, you know, we're travelers. So people be like, we be wanting to go, you know, we ready to go. But I say sometimes when you're doing that with a private school, it makes it a little bit difficult for them because, you know, they have to go through the process of finding another teacher. They don't have as big of a turnover. But if you want to say go there for a few months, I would say go to go to Vietnam. You could either work with VUS in Ho Chi Minh City, or you could work with, what is this school called? It's another school in Hanoi that has a center as well. So I would say if you're going to go and you don't want to stay there long, but you kind of want to do a little summer moment, go there, get you a job. Don't tell them that you only stand for a short period of time, you know, get hired, make your money, and then just give them a heads up before you want to go, like 2 weeks before. You can even tell them a month before. VUS was pretty good. I feel like they understand that people be wanting to leave and they have a, you know, I want to say they have an average turnover. Some teachers stay, some teachers don't, but if you leave, they're not going to be mad about it. Like, just give them a heads up and you'll be okay. So definitely Ho Chi Minh City, VUS. Hold on, y'all. It's kind of hot. I live in NYC. It's too expensive here. Believe me, I know. Girl, I literally was just there. I wish I would have known that. Maybe next time I come, I'll hit you up and maybe we can do lunch or something because I literally always fly out of New York. Well, this time I flew out of Dallas because it was cheaper, but normally when I'm going to Asia, I'm always flying out of New York. The flights are like $300 if you book in advance. LOL, I landed in Bangkok in Thailand with 3,500 and I balled the fuck out for the first one. You better. Unfortunately, that was not my experience. Okay, that was not my experience. We now granted, I feel like I was broke a little bit, but I really made it work. And I'm telling y'all, opportunities just were coming for me. You know, like every time I ran out of money, an opportunity literally fell in my lap and was like, here, more money for you to continue your journey. You know, like I really feel like the universe is just like conspiring for me on my behalf for everything to fall into place exactly as it should. So I'm telling you, I got there with 200, but I was there for 3 years. I made it work. I figured it out and I moved forward and now I'm in a whole nother continent. Amen. Payo, Thailand. No, I didn't go to Payo, Thailand. This makes me want to look this up and see what it looks like. Is this like an island? Pahyow. Plus, I think Vietnam is a better place when you kind of like, you know, you just are. Southeast Asia is a cool place to kind of it's more forgiving to backpackers. Like whether you're running out of money or if you don't really know what route you want to take or you're solo or you don't really got it all figured out, it really conforms with you, you know? Whereas like some other places, like I wouldn't say you want to go to Africa and run out of money. I wouldn't say you want to go to Europe and run out of money, you know? Like, but in Asia, you'll be all right. You ain't gonna die. And things are so cheap there, like you gonna be all right. Good to know. I'm looking to teach adults at a center. Yeah, BUS. That's the place you're gonna want to do it because they have they have adult classes. They have all age groups from babies up until adults, but they kind of pick what age group that they would want you to teach. This would be my first time teaching abroad. I think you might like it. Yes, definitely. I met one of my good friends on YouTube. She watched my video and lives in New York too. So we met and now we're good friends. So yes, let me know. I will definitely let you know because I'm going home during the summer. So I literally am supposed to be leaving South America maybe around mid-May. Then I'm going home for about 3 months. I'm taking a course. And then I'm going to be back in Asia for just a little bit of time. And to get there, I'm going to stop in New York. And I'll let you know. I'll let you know when I make it. So yeah. Yeah, I think it'd be dope too. And we gotta go to this place. You know, this place called the one, I think it's called Chicks. They have cocktails, but they're known for like their wings and waffles. Oh, it's so good. And I did not have it the last time I was in New York and I was so sad. So maybe we can go there. I don't know, but it'll be dope. I'll let you know because I like New York a lot. I'll be there all the time. I'll be there. I always am flying through there. And sidebar, y'all, I almost took a flight this month to go to New York. But that didn't work out. That didn't work out. Unfortunately, I didn't learn about all the opportunities until I was close to being broke. If I would have went there with the amount and got started working the first month, I would have never left. Yeah, I feel like I did the same, you know, like I didn't know any of this. And I got there and then I was like, you know, asking around because this is kind of how it happens. You travel, you meet so many people, you connect with different people. And it's literally like word of mouth of like where the opportunities are. And you just go from there. You just go from there. Hello, with that amount, you would have been set. You would have been set. But wait, you were teaching in Thailand? And I don't want to make it seem like Thailand doesn't have jobs that pay more because they do. But those jobs sometimes require more teaching experience or more certifications like a CELTA or like, you know, like it requires a little bit more than just sometimes your average traveler is willing to do for something that isn't really, you know, career goal, but more so like a little hustle. Let me know when you come to New York too. I stop by and say what up if I'm free. Okay, I'm gonna let y'all know. I'm gonna keep y'all in the loop. I'm really kind of feeling away because I really literally right now I was supposed to be in New York. But I just decided not to go. Honestly, okay, so let's switch gears for a bit. This is probably TMI, but I don't care. So I was thinking I was gonna go to New York. Y'all remember I had met this guy? I don't know if I told you about this, but I met this guy in New York when I first went to New York. My very first time in New York, right before I went to Thailand, I met this guy. We had a really dope moment. It was definitely like a little fling, okay? Really dope moment. And I was thinking about going back, but I really kind of was thinking it was going to be like a business/pleasure trip. Because I've been also like looking into like some one-on-one makeup courses. And also I need to pick up some product. It's a couple of things that I need to do. So I was thinking about going. Well, I was really set on it at first. I was like, yes, I'm going to go. I'm going to get my life, have a little moment, and then I'm going to roll back. And I'm going to be set and ready. And then I was thinking about it a little more. And I don't know. It just didn't really make sense in the long run because I was thinking about the guy and I was just like, I don't know if I want to go back down that lane with him. I don't feel like I just don't feel like he's like I think he's cool. I think he's a cool dude, but at the same time, y'all, it's hard for me to have like a booty buddy or something, like because I have expectations. Like you can't just be treating me no any kind of way, like you know. So I thought about it and I was like, I like him and all, but I feel like the way he's acting is going to not put me in a good headspace in the long run. So I'd rather not even be involved. And like I said in my other video, I don't really feel like this need to have like a whole moment or anything. Like I just kind of feel like I'm just really at peace right now and just really comfortable, like where I'm at. Not even just comfortable, but I just feel like really good. And I don't really feel like mixing that with like energy that is like up in the air, just craziness. So I decided against it. I was like, nah, fuck that. I'm not gonna get that ticket to go there, and nah, I'm just not gonna do it. But I think I'm still gonna end up stopping there. But I don't think I'm gonna see the guy. I don't think I'm gonna see him. So yeah, little side notes. Yes. Okay, so Darren said, are you still planning to help those girls in Brazil? I watched the emotional video and was wondering if you're still going. I am still going. Yes. So this is a part of the reason why my trip is possibly changing. Because initially, girl, let me pull these notes out. Hold up. When I tell you I've been in plan and work mode. But initially, I was planning to stay in Colombia this whole time. And I was going to basically do 2 trips outside of the country, like 2 big trips, like 2-month trips, like 1 trip for 1 month, come back, chill a bit, another trip for another month, come back, chill a bit, then roll out. But I realized it's 3 cities that I want to hit in Brazil. So I need to do a little bit more research tonight to kind of price the flights and see if it's going to actually make sense for me to do it that way. But instead of coming back to Colombia, my first big trip outside of Colombia is going to happen next month, girl, in like 3 weeks. Oh my God, I kind of feel like a little nervous. I'm like, oh, get all the shit done that you gotta get done, girl. Because I know, like, for me, I'm already sometimes a little inconsistent. I'm still working on my discipline, but like when I'm traveling, like when I'm actually on the road, like right now, I would say I'm traveling, but I'm stable. Like I have a base. I've been in one place. I've been kind of chilling. But on March the 3rd, that's when I need to leave this country. That's when I'm going to take my bus to Cali. Then I'll head to Ecuador and Peru and Bolivia. And I just know once you're once you're hopping from city to city, things go real quick. So many unexpected things happen. So it's like I got to really prep things before I go. But the plan, possibly, if the flight and the price is looking okay, is that I possibly will ship my bags to Brazil or maybe to Bolivia, pick them up when I get to Bolivia, and then fly to Brazil and kind of like set up a base, but then kind of fly out for my second part of my flight, if that makes sense, and then fly home from Brazil. I don't know. I'm feeling like a dope flavor from Brazil. And I'm so excited to get there. Like, I feel so excited. So, yes, I am still going to help the girls. I actually was talking to one of my really good friends that I met through YouTube as well. I tell you, YouTube and social media be connecting people. But you guys have seen her. She's not in the chat tonight, but her chat name is Kiwi Chow, but her name in real life is Charlie. She's really dope. So when she saw that video, me and her were talking because she's from Houston. I hung out with her when I went home, and we still, we still connected. And I remember in the video, I was telling you guys, like, I was hella emotional, but I feel and still feel such a need of like, I want to do something that helps change the trajectory of their life. Because for me, I realized, when I had those environmental switches or different experiences that were so different from my own environment, it really gave me a positive thing to like not just hold myself up to, but kind of aspire to be. It really helped me develop my life to where I'm at now. It kind of, like to this point where I'm like, I can't even believe that, like, or some people can't even believe I used to be in CPS. Like, it really brought me here. So I want to be able to provide something like that for them as well. So I'm working on. We have an idea. I don't know if I really want to tell you guys yet. I don't know, but basically my subby called me. She was like, "Look, I know you want to do something, and this might be cool." So she gave me a good idea, and then we just basically have to execute it. So I'm sending sponsor letters right now. I literally just finished the sponsor letter for them today, and it sounds amazing. So I'm so excited, but I just sent it to Charlie and I sent it to my accountability partner because I needed them to like look over it before I send it to the companies. But I'm planning something really, really amazing for them. But it's just, I have to, send these sponsor letters because obviously I don't have all the money in the world to make it come into fruition where I can pay for all of them to do this idea. But I have to send out these sponsor letters. So this is another thing that I needed to get done before I leave here because the summer is around the corner and that's when this idea should be taking place. So you guys probably, if all goes well and I'm able to secure all the sponsors in order to make this project work, they should be making their way during the summer, and you guys probably will see the video from that journey after the summer, probably like maybe August. I don't know, however long it takes me to edit it, but I'm excited and I'm working on a big project for them. So fingers crossed, everybody send me some good energy. Pray for me that it all works out because it's just literally, if we can get sponsored, then it's a go. And I'm really excited about it. So I can't wait to meet them. But either way, whether I'm able to secure sponsors or not, I'm definitely going to try to connect with them in Brazil. Yeah, everyone, when you land, just ask every foreigner what they do for money. That's what I did. Like I'm telling you, I'm telling you, everybody you meet, like, well, maybe not. Well, yeah, pretty much everybody, because you never know who's gonna say what. And people are gonna give you so many different ideas and you just work through it until you find something that works. But yeah. Someone is doing something. The more you ask, the more you learn. This is true because everybody's not traveling there in like with all this money. When you go to Thailand and you are just Asia, you realize like it's a lot of us who are just risk takers and just figuring the shit out. Like none of us really had all of the money in the world, but we just kind of like made it work. Nah, Courtney, I didn't work in Thailand. I was living off my savings, learning about different digital nomad opportunities. Ah, okay. I mean, I don't think it would have been worth it anyways. I love Thailand, but I'd never teach there again. The school was really easy though. It was a really easy school. I had no problems, but it's just like, for the pay, if you're going to do something that's not aligned with what your purpose is, you might as well get paid for it. Go with your spirit. If you gotta move to go or do something, don't do it. You deserve to be in a good space. I agree. I'm thinking this is about my booty buddy moment, my possible booty buddy moment. You know what, too? I had a whole little plan. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. Cause these guys when you travel just be kind of crazy and I just really ain't here for it. But at the same time, sometimes you need to clean your pipes, sometimes you need a little one too. But at the same time, I don't believe in sacrificing your needs for somebody else, and it's like certain things that I need. I feel like even if we're not in a relationship and we're on a booty buddy level, that's still very intimate to me. You're taking something from me. And this is, I don't know, at the very least, I still need communication. It's still things that I still need. And if I don't get them, it's a problem. So, no. Booty buddy, that's a new one on me. Yeah, so I think it's new. Well, I guess new to you, also me. This weather here in Philly is crazy cold right now, and New York ain't too far. I've been hearing about y'all cold weather, even in Texas now. I'm sure Texas ain't nowhere near what y'all experiencing right now, but I've been hearing about this, and I send out my condolences to y'all. Like, I'm sorry that y'all are having to deal with this, and I really hope it warms up so soon. What is the best time of year to land in Vietnam? Long as it's not the rainy season. I can't remember when the rainy season happens, but you just want to make sure it's not the rainy season, because when it rains, especially in Ho Chi Minh, it floods. And if you have a motorbike, like my last week in Ho Chi Minh, actually, I left Ho Chi Minh in October. So I would say maybe around October is the rainy season. Let me double check to make sure. Rainy season in Vietnam. Nah, but the rainy season gets real. Like, it gets really real in Vietnam. It literally floods. And like, I thought I had made it through Vietnam without experiencing like the worst of the rainy season, because a lot of times it floods. But my last week, it started to rain, and I had to push my bike through dirty ass Vietnamese water. And when I tell you it's filthy, it's probably worse than Vietnam. Like, their sewage, their pollution is so disgusting. It was so bad. Like, I had this, oh my God, when I tell you I almost threw up. Like, I have such a weak stomach, and just like, I hate walking in dirty water. I'm such a girly girl in a way. Like, I hate little nasty things. Like, I hate little, like mud and dirty water and all of that. I had to take my shoes off and walk in this flooded water to push my bike out of the water. And people were pouring their soup in the water. Like, because a lot of times in Vietnam, they will just pour their trash on the street. Or like, it's filthy in Vietnam. It's really dirty. So be prepared for that as well. So yeah, it's a definitely horrible experience to be in a flood mix with all of the nasty ass shit that's rolling around in these Vietnamese streets. Definitely horrible. So you don't want to go during that time. Girl, that took me back. I was like, ugh, I remember having to do that. I was so like disgusted. This was part of the reason too why I had to leave Vietnam, because it was so dirty there. Like, Vietnam is really dirty. The streets is dirty. It's definitely like third world country build up, and it's a lot of pollution. And I think I was getting to my limit with the filth. I was like, this place is dirty. I'm stressed. I'm stressed here, and it ain't working for me. It ain't working for me. So, so the best time to go to Vietnam, between February and April. I couldn't really find when rainy season happens. I feel like rainy season happens towards the end of the year, because October is when I left for sure, and it definitely flooded. It was like the beginning of rainy season starting, and you don't want to get caught in that. And Vietnam, in Hanoi, it gets cold during rainy season as well, because it's closer up in the mountains. So it floods in Ho Chi Minh as well. Like, all throughout Vietnam, it will flood. I don't know what it is about their sewage, how their infrastructure is set up, but it floods all throughout Vietnam. You definitely don't want to be in the middle of Vietnam during the rainy season, because that's like on the coast, by the beaches and shit, and you definitely gonna be out of pocket. But it gets colder in Hanoi because it's closer to the mountains. LOL, I'm good with a booty buddy abroad. I prefer an exclusive relationship, but I understand as a travel, people come and go, and people staying next month isn't always a guarantee. I think me too. I prefer to have an exclusive relationship. And yeah, I don't like having the fling moment. And I think this is probably why some of my dating experiences were so crazy, because I think the guys were expecting to fuck. And they was like mad, like, like they was really entitled. And I'm like, but I don't owe you no booty though. And if I decide that I don't want to give you no booty, I ain't gonna give you none. Ain't nothing you can say that can make me change my mind. But you know, you trying to persuade me is making me angry. So yeah, the bully buddy thing doesn't normally work for me. I feel like I was thinking about it like, maybe this might be something that could possibly work, huh? Because I really did connect with him. Like, I felt like we had a deep connection, deeper than me and Kelvin. And Kelvin had a hole on my ass, so y'all already know. We had a deep connection. But it's just like we just kind of lost connection, you know? Like, we just lost connection. But then it was so crazy because I went to New York. I thought about him, but it was so much going on and it was so cold and I didn't have his same old, I think his number had changed, but I didn't think about any other options of like, oh, he might still stay in the same place or anything like that. So we didn't even link, and he messaged me the week after. Like, it was real crazy. So I don't know, like, he's cool, but I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna see him again, but like, I just think I'm not in that place. I'm just really kind of like healing myself and being patient for what is meant for me, because I don't want to settle for craziness. Yeah, that dookie water was horrible. Oh my God, you should have seen the look on my face when I was rolling by this lady and they was throwing shit in the water. I was like, oh, you don't see us walking through here? You just putting more trash in the water. You don't even care. Do you need to speak Vietnamese to go to Vietnam? No. No. It's a lot of people who speak English, a lot of Vietnamese people who speak English, and there's Google Translate. I feel like it was pretty easy to figure out. Like, it's not like you're coming to South America. South America, you got to speak some Spanish. You should not come to South America without learning at least some basic Spanish or some basic phrases or something. But in Asia, you can get away with English. Like, I didn't learn much Asian languages, or I didn't learn many Asian languages, if that makes sense. I have a good amount of Thai words that I know because in Thailand, they don't play that. If you go to the Thai lady or whoever you go, like, because most of the time it's mom and pop places in Thailand who own like the little washer, the laundry mat, or it might be like a little mom and pop Thai restaurant from you across the street from your places wherever you stay. I don't know, but you're gonna run into an old Thai person, and if they speak English and you see them often for a service, they're gonna teach you something. Whereas in Vietnam, they don't really teach you their language that much, but you pick up things along the way. It was cold. Was the temperature 0 Kelvin? You so silly. That's good to know. I will research it for sure. Yeah, definitely do some research and see what's up. But I'm going to be going soon, guys. I got a little bit more things on my list to do, and I'm hungry. So I want to eat, and I want to get my life together. So if you have any more questions, please speak now or forever hold your peace. I'm going to probably hop out in the next 2 minutes. Let me give you guys a chance to ask anything else. Thanks, ladies. Have a great day or night on your side. It's nighttime here right now. It's 9:48. It's not too much of a difference, but thank you for the good night, good day wishes. Love you guys too. Yeah, it's really not far. Like, South America is really not far from North America, so the time is not too much of a difference. Swadika. So bye. I know this one. Well, I don't know that one. Gupkankao. This is all Thai words, guys. Gupkankao. What does that mean? That's all the Thai I knew. Really? You didn't learn your numbers or anything? Or like the food? See, they wasn't playing with me. All the food that I was eating, they was like, look, this is how you say it. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Dara. All right, y'all. It's about that time. So, like I said, guys, to wrap this up, Sign up is in the description if you're interested in the 3-day self-care challenge. It's completely free. Everything that's included in the challenge is completely free. So it's not something that's gonna cost you a lot of money. It's just something simple for us to level up on ourselves for the, the Valentine's season. I don't know about you guys, but I'm single this year and that still ain't gonna stop nothing. Hello, hello. You still gotta treat yourself. So we're going to have a nice self-care moment for anybody who's interested in joining, so definitely make sure you sign up. And Guinness Guy, if you are watching this after the fact, please check your Gmail. I sent you something, and I know you haven't opened it yet. So check your Gmail. And is there anything else I need to tell you guys? I don't think so. My thing is one off. Okay, guys, so thank you so much for joining me again tonight. We may possibly be going live again tomorrow. I don't know because I haven't finished editing the video that's supposed to go out tomorrow. I'm going to try to work on it tonight, but if I don't, we're going to go live and then I'll post it on Thursday. So stay tuned to the community for updates. I will be posting there of what's going on with the video or with the live. So yeah, people will stare. Make it worth their while. And I will see you guys later. Have a good night. Ciao.